I will primarily cover things from my own experience on working on with different startups where I was able to unlock organic growth for the different products, B2C apps in general. Besides, we would also look at different growth playbook which different companies use to crack organic growth. During the session, I would like you to ask questions so that we can keep the session fun and engaging. Kushal can help me create questions on the chat. Just a quick intro about myself. I currently work at Apna Jobs. Apna is one of the largest professional network in India to help people find their dream job, uh, find a community which can help them in their professional growth. Earlier, I was heading product at Logic Kids. Logic Kids is an edtech platform to help kids improve their logical thinking skills through worksheets and fun games. Earlier, I had also co-founded Nudge, one of the most popular and award-winning English learning apps, where I was able to scale it to more than 5 million plus users. Most of it was organic growth. Currently at Apna, I'm taking care of candidate growth, primarily product-led initiatives to drive the candidate growth organically. Well, that's about me. Uh, let's deep dive into the session. I will start first with the first product that I had worked on, Nudge.me, an English app to help people improve their English skills through bite-sized lessons and fun games. At one point in time, we were able to scale the organic growth from 100K users to 1 million only within a span of 6 months without spending any dollars on marketing. Uh, I will talk about the different growth levers that we had used at Nudge.me to achieve this growth. So we were able to crack word of mouth referrals for Nudge.me. We were also able to drive content as one of the most important growth lever at this for this particular platform that I worked on. Besides, we focused on different distribution channels, be it content through SEO or social media, making use of influencers. Especially, I'll talk about how we were able to crack our Play Store organic traffic. We extensively worked on building referral hooks and gamification model within the platform that helped us achieve this growth. Besides, we were very particular about the quality of the app. We were one of the highest rated edtech app on the Play Store. We were also very fussy about talking to customers daily, where we would collect the feedback, their pain points, and try to put the same feedback into the product. And that actually helped us stay close to what our customers want from the product. And that actually was one of the major contributing factor to drive the growth further. Besides, while we worked on all of these different action items, we ensured that we are measuring everything, any action that we are taking, which particular channel is working for us so that we can double down our effort in that particular direction. Or probably which particular channel, or if there was a channel which was not working for us, then we would accordingly take a trade-off call with respect to it. So we would look into details on each of the growth levers that we had used at Nudge.me. First, we'll cover word of mouth. So for any product to get a word of mouth traffic, it is essential to have some unique value proposition. For us, we understood that people wanted to improve their English skills. However, they didn't want to put any effort to do so. So it is a bit ironic in itself. And while we were building the product, our fundamental principles while we were designing the platform was basically using the concepts of micro learning uh, so that uh, so that we can break a large piece of information into smaller chunks, and that particular piece of information can be consumed in a scattered fashion over a period of time, so that even a distracted learner can continue his learning even if he's on the app or if he's doing something else. So a user would receive bite-sized lessons even while he's scrolling, uh, say Instagram, or probably driving, or is in office. Throughout the day, he would get such bite-sized lessons through daily notifications, and there would be small quizzes in the notification itself that would keep his learning going. So that really helped us uh, to keep the attention of the user back onto the app, and helped us build the habit of using nudge.me so that people are coming back onto the platform again and again. And at the end of the day, it was the effectiveness of the platform where we were able to fulfill the whatever promise, the value proposition we had, that this particular platform will help you improve your English skills. So that actually helped us drive the growth further, besides having a unique value proposition when we initially started with. We would also look at another example of having a unique brag-worthy proposition or a unique value proposition. So, an app called Locket, which went viral about an year or so back. It is a very simple app that just has a small photo widget, which you can add it to your home screen, and people can exchange photos uh, with the help of this widget without putting in any effort. And while you are doing something else, you can still access photos of your friends while you are looking or scrolling your mobile screen without taking any effort to go to that particular platform or the app. So in today's world, when we have so many social media app, our social circle has ballooned with, say, hundreds of friends on Instagram, and then there are people who are sending messages back and forth on Snapchat. So at the end of the day, it takes a lot of effort to do that. And when in comparison to, if you look at the app, it's a very simple way and easy way to stay in touch with your close friends. So this unique value proposition, it really helped this particular app to grew viral. Besides, it got picked up by the influencers on TikTok, since it had that unique value proposition to it. Plus, it inherently it was more of a social photo app where you had to invite someone else to the platform. So these two factors combined helped this particular app to crack the organic growth. We'll move to the next growth lever, where we had used content as one of the major lever to drive growth onto the platform. So for any app, if the primary content is shareable, that would and if the right nudges are put in place, it would make the users to share the app on different networks, and that would lead to more people discovering the app on different platforms, and hence coming back, and hence it would help us. Hence it would help to acquire more new set of users. In case of Nudge.me, we had built this unique, interesting visual cards, which were unique in itself. And since they were unique and very visual, interesting, people would want to share it with their friends. And this really helped us. This very good looking small bite-sized card, which people would share it on social media platform. It helped us acquire new set of users back to the app. Besides, while people are sharing this content on different social media platform, it is also a way to engage the app users back to the platform. Say in other words, if someone has downloaded the app, and if they discover content again on some other platform, what it will do is it will help people to know more about nudge.me, and in a way it would lead to the discovery of the app on different social platform as well, and hence will lead to building of habit of using that particular app again. So this particular strategy, it really helped us drive organic growth. Another example of content, a shareable content would be Gas app. which was an anonymous social media app which got acquired by Discord. So for Gas app would work. Basically, people would be sharing anonymous messages as compliments, particularly targeted at teens. And once a user would receive a message, they would go out to say Snapchat or Instagram, would put out this message asking friends who had shared this compliment to them. So in a way, the growth strategy that was used by this app, or what really worked for this app was, even if there's a single message or compliment received on the app, it it led to acquiring of more than one users through different social media platform, because that particular message got shared onto the other platform. Any questions till now? Okay, I'll move forward then. The another growth lever that we focused on, how we can drive our distribution channels, where we specifically focused on driving our organic installs through the Play Store traffic itself. So by having organic traffic from the Play Store, mean if someone is searching on the Play Store through say generic keywords, say English app or a job app, then ideally if the app is ranked higher on the Play Store listing, it would help one get more installs and more acquisitions organically. At one point in time, Nudge.me was ranked at number two when people would, after Duolingo, when people would search English onto the Play Store. So Play Store has two major facets of acquiring organic traffic. One is search traffic. The other component is the explore traffic. So ideally, there are 5 to 6 specific elements or strategies which people focus on building their or cracking their organic traffic on the Play Store. First step is focusing on the important keywords which are core to your business or which are core to your value proposition. So if those keywords are put in the title of the app, the subtitle, long description, screenshot, so that would help the app to rank higher when someone is searching with those keywords. Also, a secondary research in terms of the competitors' keywords would help in optimizing which other keywords we can use while we are building our Play Store listing. Other than keywords, it is important what kind of app icons, snapshots we have on the Play Store. A very good logo, plus very clear-cut screenshots would help people convert more. So if there are visitors who are coming onto your Play Store page of the app, if the screenshots are good enough, then it would lead to more conversions. So again, it is an important aspect of converting more users from the Play Store itself. Other than that, it is important to focus on the reviews and ratings of the app. Whether people are giving good reviews, whether we are constantly replying to those reviews or not. So that also forms an important part while someone is working on building traffic on the Play Store. Other than that, if the app or the particular product is present in different geographies or different demography, localization can also be used, where the Play Store listing is in different languages as per the available languages on the Play Store itself. So this is important to building organic traffic on the Play Store. Uh, Other than that, if we are getting a good number of velocity in terms of our daily install, that would help improve the rank on the Play Store, and that would further lead to more number of installs. So it becomes more like a cyclical loop. If we are getting more install, our rank improves, and that would lead to further installs. So a lot of people also use this strategy to drive install in quick bursts so that their overall ranking of the app improves, and then they are able to get the benefit of those ranking. Besides, if you are lucky enough to get featured on the Play Store, that would also help to drive good organic traffic. We were lucky enough to get featured by Google as one of the best apps of 2017. Besides being an editor's choice app, we were featured by Google as global apps made by Indians for the world on Independence Day and Republic Day. So all of this helped us build a good organic traffic source on the Play Store itself. Any questions, folks? Okay, I'll move forward then. The next growth lever that we'll talk about is how we can use referral hooks or gamification while we onto the platform to drive our organic growth. So gamification as a concept is basically using game elements to achieve a particular goal. Where the first step is identifying the intrinsic motivation of a user. What does a user want to do? The next step is if we can build a goal for that particular user and show them how they can achieve it. The next step is if we can, while we are laying down that path of achieving the goal, can we make that learning to be fun? Can we gamify that learning? So that a user is motivated enough to take the necessary action. So this is how any gamification lever can be built within any product. A few examples of this would be how referral programs are built, where normally people would feel motivated or have that competitiveness to earn rewards if they are sharing app with their friends, or if they are sharing a particular product among friends or with others. So at a very simplistic level, a lot of referral program use gamification to drive this. So at Logic so even though I have worked on using gamification a lot while we were building Nudge, and it really helped us drive organic growth. Normally, we would lock a particular premium content and feature behind a virtual paywall, that and a user would have to earn some kind of a virtual credits so that they can unlock that particular feature or content within the app. And to earn those credit, a user would either have to be engaged on the platform, or they would have to say share the app with their friends. So this way, we were able to drive engagement on one hand, and we were also able to drive growth on the other hand. So the other example where I used gamification to drive organic growth was Logic Kids, an edtech platform to help kids improve their logical reasoning skills through fun games and worksheets, where we use the different components like leaderboard, badges, and streaks to drive the organic growth. We were able to increase the number from 3,000 monthly users to 30,000 new monthly users organically. The first step for this particular platform was, since the stakeholder or the core persona of this platform was user, who would be using this, who would be using the platform to improve their logical reasoning skills. So for them, the intrinsic motivation was whether the learning is fun on the platform or not. So leveraging that, leveraging that and showing him a goal of getting better at logical reasoning skills or getting smarter by just uh, spending 5 minutes on the app through daily training. We were able to build a journey or a roadmap which is gamified enough for user to come back onto the app on a daily basis. And while we were doing this, so the part where a user is coming onto the app on a daily basis is where we focused on forming the habit for that particular user. Say a user, the goal is there in front of the user, and now a user has just come to the platform and spend only 5 minutes, so that he is progressing towards that goal on a day by day basis. Once a user is completing that daily training, his ranking would improve on the leaderboard. He could also get a badge, and he could also earn few gems. So all of this variable rewards would motivate a user to come back on the platform. And this is where a daily habit gets formed for a user, and where the engagement goes up. And while user is performing this daily action, or this or core action, is where the growth hooks or share hooks would could be plugged in to make this user share their experiences with users who are outside of this platform. Let's say a user has earned a badge, or has earned a gem, or probably his ranking has improved on the leaderboard. So having those right nudges to make the user about share about whatever rewards that they have earned on the social media platform will lead to new users discovering about Logic Kids, and then it would lead to more of a growth loop for where we would be acquiring more users to the platform. So this is how the overall gamification worked for this particular platform, where we were again able to crack the organic growth, primarily focusing on this particular growth lever. Before I move forward, any questions, folks?
Nothing at the moment.
Okay. Yeah. So moving forward, if we zoom out for a bit and see whatever strategies we deployed or worked upon at a framework level, it can be split into two parts, where our first part is, say, the hook model or the habit forming model, and the second part is the growth loop. So I'll explain with an example. Say, let's take an example of Duolingo. A user gets uh, a notification to complete the daily streak. So this is where a user gets a trigger to use the app. User comes to the platform, would take certain action so that that particular streak gets completed. So now once the streak is completed, a user would get some kind of a reward on the platform, be it some kind of gem or badge, etc. Which would be, say, more of an instant gratification to the user, to the efforts that he has put in completing the particular action. Now, once he has achieved a reward, he's also shown, probably he would have progressed in his journey of achieving the goal for the reason he was on to this platform. And this is where he feels invested into the platform, that he has moved from point one to point two, and maybe his overall goal is to reach to point 10. So in this, and this cycle repeats on a day-to-day basis. This is how the engagement or the habit loop forms for that particular user, and the app's overall engagement moves up. Uh, while user is performing a particular action, say user has completed his core action and has earned a reward, this is where the growth loop can be plugged in, where we are driving the user to share about his achievement to the outside world, so that more number of users discover about Duolingo, or what this particular user has achieved, and then new users get acquired to the platform. So again, let's say a user has completed an action, he would share it with the outside world. A new user would discover, and then that user, once he joins the platform, he would again be performing that core action. So this loop continues. So in a way, again, growth, a standalone growth uh, does not exist. It has to be complementary, or it exists alongside, say, engagement on the platform. So if while we are working on growth, we also need to solve the problem of engagement in parallel, where we are able to bring our current users, our existing users, to the platform, and those users themselves become more like growth levers for the platform to share about the app value proposition to the outside world. So this is what is happening while we worked on all of these different strategies to drive growth. Okay, we'll be moving forward then, if there are no questions. So till now, I've covered the things that we had used at the two startups that I worked on. One was the startup that I had co-founded. One was a startup that I was taking care of the product. Uh, we would also look at some of the other strategies or growth levers which different companies use to drive organic growth. So we'll talk about Apna, how Apna leveraged community in the initial days to drive their organic growth, where the idea was if a user is engaged in a group or in a community, the user would be sharing about uh, the same uh, the same value to his friends and or to other people. And once those friend joins on the platform, it basically re-engages the friend who was there on the platform itself. So the concept that I'm trying to talk here is more of a network effect, where if let's say if a user A has shared about Apna to someone else, and user B discovers whatever user A has shared, and once user B downloads the app and joins the platform and engages on the app, a nudge goes to user A again that, hey, your friend user B has joined the app. So what is happening over here is it is not only we are not only driving growth by making users share about Apna on different social platform or to the outside world, but whoever or whatever the new incoming user that we are getting on the platform, it is re-engaging the user A or the invitee who had shared the initial invite. So the idea is this user who had shared the initial invite may have become dormant after sharing the invite. But once user B or his friend joins, it works as reactivation loop for this particular user. Similarly, if more of his friends or more of his network joins, so it again reactivates this user or re-engages this user, and this becomes a loop, or this network becomes valuable to the users who are joining this platform, because all of these users are connected, and hence there's a value in the network itself. This is the same strategy or similar strategy which LinkedIn used in its initial days, where LinkedIn would take access of users' phone contact book, email address, and then while a new user would be signing up on the LinkedIn platform, they would be getting option of the people they know on they might know based on the company that they have entered. And this would again basically this would create a nudge for a user who is signing up to send invites to people who he may already know or are already Or probably it would. So what is happening is a new user is signing up. He enters the name of the company that he is currently working on. Now, once this user has sent invites to more people, and once those people joins on the platform, again there's a nudge is that goes to the user who has sent the initial invite, that hey, your friends have joined the platform, and then again it re-engages, or it activates the user A who had sent the initial invite. Any questions here, folks? I think we have covered most of the strategies. If there's any questions, feel free to ask. Okay, so I'll move forward next. So, well, these were some of the different strategies which different companies use. There are companies who also use social proofs as a growth lever. TikTok is again one of the famous example where TikTok initially seeded content initially, and where people could relate or probably identify that there are other people who are using this particular platform, and that actually helped the company to acquire users by seeding the content initially. So social proof is again where a company try to show that there are people just like them who are already using the product and then they are loving it. So testimonials, influencer endorsements, etc. So all of this is again a good way where social proof works as a growth lever. Well, we have covered most of the levers which help people drive organic growth. Um, if there are no questions, so basically to conclude, there are these are different levers. However, which lever would work for a particular product, it is completely subjective and contextual to that product. One particular strategy could work for a different kind of a product. However, the underlying framework or principles to use these strategies, they remain same, and that they can only be identified by doing multiple experimentation and iteration. Only then people uh, probably could identify which particular strategy is working well for a particular product. And this is something we also did at Nudge or at Logic Edge, or different startups that I have worked at. So working on multiple strategies and then iterating over them to figure out what is working well for a particular user persona in a particular context for a particular business setting. So yes, that is it. I think we can have one round of questions. To conclude, there's this quote by Mr. Ping. There's no secret ingredient to make something special. You just have to believe it's special.
All right, folks, we have a few minutes. Okay, Mrityunjay, let me just give you the permission. Just give me a second. Okay, all right. Please go ahead, Mrityunjay. You can unmute and ask any questions you might have.
Thanks, Kushal. Hello, Zunaid. Thanks for the very wonderful and interactive session. I just got a very basic question over here towards the end of it. You did cover a lot of methods which typically helps to drive the organic growth. Uh, However, in your own experience in the industry, can you just shed some light? Uh, like even though you mentioned, first of all, even though you mentioned that it's a trial and error method, like you have to see to it that what method works for a particular product. It's very one can't pinpoint exactly. However, is there any way to just to minimize the churn, or maybe to just minimize the effort? Is there any way to see for a particular industry or domain which method is a go-to initially for us to minimize the effort? So yeah, that's the basic question over here.
I think again, it is a very broad in that sense, pinpointing a particular strategy for any particular industry or a business. At the end of the day, you'll have to know what who are your end users. Say I'll take the example of Apna. So Apna is a job marketplace. We have candidates who are looking to get job, and then we have employers who are looking to hire people on the platform. So these are two different user persona, even though if we can club them together, that both of them are part of the, say, the hiring industry or the job marketplace. So the motivation of an employer would be completely different from the pain points and the motivation of the candidate who is looking to get a job. So the idea is, if we can understand what motivations drive our user, build right solutions for them accordingly. And while we are building those solutions, the growth strategy is again has to be part of that journey itself. It can't be force fitted onto a particular industry or a segment. It has to come or it has to come naturally as part of the user journey. So if you're building, say, a self-learning app where say spending 5 minutes on the app is good enough, so in that case you would try to enforce or have a strategy in place how you can build an habit for a user so that he's coming onto your app daily on a 5 minute basis. So you will focus more on how habit building takes place, and while a user habit building is taking place, how you can drive his core action to share about the platform onto, say, different some other platforms or other networks. So again, it is very intrinsic to what kind of user persona you have. That is how I would put it. Does it answer your question, Mrityunjay?
Yes, thanks, Zunaid.
We still have some time, folks. It will be great if you can drop in your questions in chat box, or you can unmute yourself and then ask Zunaid the question directly. Maybe one question from my end, my side. With the advent of LLMs or AI, the advances in AI, how do you think how product managers approach like organic growth or growth in general would be impacted or affected? Zunaid? What are your thoughts around this?
I would say again, using AI and LLMs, right? These are again tool to achieve an end goal. What they are doing is, probably if we have a goal in mind, it can help us achieve to that goal a bit faster. Or probably it is helping us do away with a lot of manual intervention. Let's say, just to give an example, let's say if content, probably building unique content on our platform is one of our core strategy, right? For whatever reasons, and then we have to probably which people are sharing it on different platforms. So right now we were limited by the creativity of a particular individual who would come up with those interesting designs, visual. With
Got it.
AI, we can do that at scale and at much faster rate. So and maybe I don't know if that would be the right statement, more creatively probably. So that is also possible with
This
AI.
volume.
Yes.
It doesn't tire, so you can like keep getting output from it, and you can pick the best ones from the
Yes.
whatever these models share, and then use it for these activities. No doubt about it. I believe I came across a research where scientists had, or these researchers had benchmarked creativity of a group of individuals who are like very good at doing creative work versus GPT-4's outputs.
Mhm.
Surprisingly, GPT-4 or unsurprisingly, GPT-4's outputs have consistently, on an average, been more creative as evaluated by independent people than this group of creative folks who are like the best in the field as well. So there is no knowing what these models are capable of, and that makes it very exciting and scary as well.
Yeah, agree. Yeah, that is the world we are heading towards.
Very true. And probably not a direct question for growth. Uh, just talking about interfaces, I like how users interact with products today. Do you think uh, you see an era where we are moving away from uh, dedicated apps where every app has like obviously interactions for users to achieve certain goals, like Swiggy, you open it, you select a restaurant, you add items, you check out, and it getting replaced with, let's say, a singular interface like a voice or a text based interface, and then the LLMs do the rest of the like hard work. Do you foresee that?
Uh, yes, I think that may get possible in the, I would say, near future itself, right? A lot of innovation probably right now we've worked on these fundamentals of where these models are coming into picture, and now there would be interesting applications of these models that would basically have or drive the innovation further. So now the capability part is there. We have already seen what kind of results these LLMs can produce. The next step is probably who can use these models to build some creative solutions. And
Right.
I think at the start of the session we were discussing, right, how probably the application side may not be a wise option to opt for if someone is building in the AI space. But I would
Yep.
still stick my neck out and say that probably if people can really go out and build some creative applications using these model, probably that is something which will see how human interaction would probably be user behavior and human interaction would change in terms of how we interface currently with different apps or platforms.
Got it. Yeah, I'd probably say that. Yeah, I think people still want control on doing specific things in a specific manner. So I don't think that will go away. But just augmenting and making it simpler with commands is something which I would envision is going to happen.
Yeah.
Cool. Folks, we still have we could do with a couple of questions before we wrap today's session. Uh, anything you want to ask? We can drop in your questions in the chat box or unmute yourself. All right. If there are no further questions, maybe any parting remarks, Zunaid, before we end today's session? Anything you want to leave people who are like tuning in via LinkedIn or the folks who have joined us here with, especially the ones who are on their product management journey?
Yeah, I think it's with specific to cracking growth, organic growth, I would say doing a lot of experimentation and iteration is the way. There's no secret sauce that we can follow, or there's no particular playbook that we can follow. Obviously, there are underlying frameworks which people can study and see whether it fits for their particular problem statement or not. Having said that, what would be the right framework or what would be the right strategy, one can only figure out once they have experimented a lot and narrowed it to what is working for their particular product.
Sounds good. Always a good advice. Get really good in understanding frameworks and build everything around it, or build take that as a base and then build your understanding on top of it. That's something which I would probably advocate as well. Thanks for that. Thanks for sharing that, Zunaid. So, folks, if we have no further questions, I think we've saved us a few time, like some time, some additional time for all of us. I just want to leave by saying, Zunaid, thanks for joining in. As always, it's been an insightful session as always. Folks who've joined us here and on LinkedIn, thanks for joining in. We will obviously upload this recording on LinkedIn and on YouTube, so you can find it at a later point and refer to it if needed. But thanks for joining in on a Thursday evening. And I know it's a little late, but I really appreciate it. Thanks, Zunaid. Thanks for joining in. And with that, we end today's session. Folks who are interested in PM School's live cohort program, please reach out to anyone from the PM School team, either link on LinkedIn or Instagram, or drop us a reply to the invite which we've sent, and we'll get back to you with more details to set up a call. Thanks again, and have a great rest of the week. Thanks, Zunaid. Thanks for joining.
Thank you.
Bye.